Today I'll be installing a vanity. The old vanity was 30 inches wide and it had a gap between the vanity and the wall. Didn't look that good, so I'm going to go from the wall as far as I can, about a 42-inch vanity. And a standard vanity, the sink lands in the center, which means I'd have to move that light over. However, they do make an offset vanity where the sink lands here, then you got a bank of drawers, countertop. So I'm going to get the vanity first before I make the decision. Here's the vanity, giving an overall shot at the size. It's listed as a 43-inch vanity. However, the base is 42 inches and the top is 43. So it overhangs about a ½ inch each end. Most vanities are designed this way with the open back. Majority of homes have plumbing coming out the wall. Makes it easy for installation. Some vanities have a removable shelf if your plumbing is coming through the floor to make it a little bit easier. Here's an example. All the plumbing protruding from the wall. Makes it easy. I'll be able to hook up the P-trap and then slide the vanity in place. Using this style P-trap. This is a Home Depot purchase, same as the vanity. All the products I use in the video, I'll put a link in the description. This looks a little confusing. However, they have a diagram on the back. So we've already got the threaded end. However, they do supply a threaded adapter. If you have 1½ inch pipe sticking out, you glue this on and then adapt to that. So we'll start with this, and but first let me show you different size washers. That's depending on your pipe size. This is made for 1¼ inch and this is for 1½ inch, which this is the one we need. First, we'll put a nut on this side and bring it up and then install a washer on that lip. Then a nut on this end, 1½ inch washer. Slide that back and that goes in here. And what's nice, it's adjustable. So you can make fine adjustments at the end when the sink's in place. So just lightly snug things up. Then it shows the short end going on here. Snug that up. And you can cross thread it, which I just did. So if your nut tightens up right away, you know you don't have things straight. A good way is put it on there nice and straight and snug it up. See? It spins freely until it snugs up. That's what you want. And then this one is where the sink goes in and you can adjust this as needed. And that will get another washer. Well, it will be on the pipe. It'll be a nut and a washer like that when you're done. Sink pipe. I plan to have the vanity tight against the wall. So a good check. See how square things are? I got a little bit of rock. That means there's going to be a small gap here. However, the sink top overhangs a ½ inch. So would you bring it out like that? So you have a ½ inch on this end and a ½ inch on that end overhang, uniform, and then have a ½ inch gap here? I'm not sure, it kind of looks weird. So I'm just going to bring it in, see how things look. Right. All along the back is tight to the wall. Looks good. This looks good as well. There's a slight gap. I think I can live with that. I mean, it's hardly even noticeable. Minimal gap through here. A little larger up top. However, when we level the unit, that might disappear. We'll do a door check. Nice. We'll need a door bumper. Here's the overhang I mentioned earlier. Very minimal. Gives it a nice finished look. This is the way I usually do it. I like to keep it tight against the wall on the other end. Less foreign objects falling in between. Turns out the light does not line up in the center of the sink. Let me give a broader shot. So, when I look at the overall picture, it appears the light should be in the center of the mirror, not the sink. I could add a third light. It'd be perfect. Am I going to do that? No! Needs to come up a little on that end. That direction's level. I'm going to need a shim on that end. And then when I mounted the mirror, I found the studs behind the wall, so I can just level this up, put a mark here and here to be lined up with the stud. 2 mounts, pack of shims, beveled. You got one here and one in the back till it's level. Checking for squareness. A little bit of rock there, and that will affect door lines. So you just move the unit that way or this way to square that up and then mount it. Just through this board, not necessarily into the drywall. I'd like to show a couple ideas for anchoring. I'll be using a 3-inch drywall screw, and then you can put this right through that center hole, and then when it's tight, close the cap so you don't see the end of the stud. Decorative touch. However, I will be using these little rings, and you'll be able to see the end, but it's under the sink. You won't really notice them, and it gives you more surface so you don't pull through the cabinet. Next, we'll look at the faucet from Amazon, made in China. Supply lines, pop-up stopper, very nice, and then the faucet. What's really nice when you're doing a new sink, you can install the spigot and the supply lines with the sink off of the base. Here's the setup. I've got a towel here holding it so don't scratch that, and then a towel on the floor, no movement. Remove these 2 washers, I believe, go on the back side. I'll show that in a minute. This piece here just fits in that little slot. So you want hot left, cold on the right. I believe the rubber washers snug up against the porcelain so this doesn't slide around, whereas the plastic has a tendency to slide. So I'm going to pull the faucet all the way forward so it's straight. Make sure the unit is lined up where you want. Snug them up. Finger tight is sufficient, but I just give it a little bump to ensure they don't move. You don't want to go too tight, it's just plastic. Strip out. Supply line next. These go on the water valves, and this goes on here. And they have a little rubber washer inside. No need for Teflon tape or pipe dope. Same here, hand tight, and then just a little bit more. Think of it as a garden hose with the rubber seal. Pop-up drain, remove this. Rubber, now it has a bevel. You want the bevel to fit that area. when I put this through. This comes with a rubber seal, so there's no need for plumber's putty or silicone. It seals against the inside of this, so you just put it right through. Then the beveled edge right in there. Orientation doesn't matter, it's just a pop-up. The wider end goes up against, mates with that. So I just hold the tail, snug it up. And on this one, literally hand tight. Do not over tighten. You'll warp the washer and then it might leak, and it's plastic. That is sufficient. So we're ready to mount the sink onto the base. To secure the top to the base, I'm going to use this Titebond heavy duty construction adhesive. This is a bit overkill. I don't have any silicone at the moment, so I'll just go conservative. And just a little dab along there, in case somebody ever wants to remove it. It won't be bonded like crazy. Ew! We'll hook up the water lines. I just noticed on these lines, the hot is swirled with red and the cold blue. If your plumbing was done correctly, hot to the left, cold to the right. Snug them up. Now for the plumbing. Looks like I've got a little issue here. It looks like we're going to be too short on the plumbing. I'll have to get an extender, plus cut this pipe a little bit so I can go further back. It's almost there. Here's the extension tube, 6 inches long. So it comes with a ring. However, this is 1.5 inch, which is too large. So we'll use that thicker ring for 1.25 inch that came with this kit. Put the nut on, slide that up, bevel facing down. So that's ready. And then this section will go on here. And then this here. Bevel facing down. Slide that on there. This on here. Like such. I also cut and shortened this piece so I can go in and out if needed. So everything lines up, we just tighten it up. Slide the rubber down. Everything hand tight. So I have the spigot above. The water valves are off. We're ready for water. Oh wow, it's really dripping. I turn it all the way on, it should stop. That's one thing about old valves and things. Unreliable. Before turning on water, remove the aerator in case there's any debris in the system. Gently turn it on, there's going to be a little bit of air. So, to test your pop-up, just put a little bit of water in there. Just covering the top. And if it leaks, the top will be exposed quickly. It's been a few minutes. Looks good. Let's do a fill. Really nice water pressure. This sink doesn't have an overflow. So if someone leaves this on, walks away, it's going to flood the bathroom. Poor design. Here you got an expensive vanity, and that's what they give you. Let's drain it. Is it going to swirl? Oh yeah. Nice. So that swirl, it's needing air, and it can't get air until after the trap. Let me touch on that. Every trap in a home requires a vent on this side of the trap, and mine is behind the wall. It's what's known as a wet vent. It goes into a pipe that goes to the drain, but also goes out the top of the house. And if you don't have one of them, then you got to do some plumbing here and run a 1.5 inch pipe up and put in an admittance valve. It's basically a check valve. It allows air into the system, but doesn't allow sewer gases to escape. So now I'm checking for leaks. Amazingly, this thing's sealed up. No leaks. So we'll run some water through it again. Nice! Everything's dry. The unit is supplied with decorative pulls, and I've got one short screw here. I'll have to figure that out. Just discovered where the short screw goes. All the other drawers go through this board and then that board. This one only goes through this thickness. Just threads right on. If the back spins, just use a Phillips screwdriver to hold it. Fully extend, nice feature, and when you close it, you got to give it a little bit of a nudge to get it to close. However, they're not soft close, but if you throw it, it just soft closed, but it doesn't pull itself in. It just closes, doesn't bounce back. These got the stopper on it, but it's that typical rattle. Really nice countertop. I don't think it's quartz. However, it might be a replica. It'll be in the description. I've got it full of water to ensure for no leaks. It's pretty nice. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Hope this has helped someone. And if you'd like to see how to remove and reinstall a toilet, how to resurface a fiberglass tub surround, I'll provide a link